Ego is the soul's worst affliction. No one lives outside its jurisdiction. This is from Rumi. And what it means is our unhealthy obsession with our own importance. The ego is the greatest obstacle to spiritual peace and true connection. Talking about Rumi, his name is Jalal al-Din Muhammad Rumi, commonly known as Rumi. Was a Sufi mystic, poet, and founder of the Islamic Brotherhood known as Melavi order. His family hailed from Balkh. Rumi is an influential figure in Sufism, and his thoughts and works loom large both in Persian literature and mystic poetry in general. Welcome back to Light and Shadow. I'm your host, JF. Today I'm talking about the ego. The ego is the rational part of the psyche that mediates between primal and instinctual drive, the id, and moral social standard, the superego. Operating on the reality principle, it manages decision-making, planning, and defenses to navigate reality. Often, it represents a false, constructed sense of self, and when the ego takes over, the brain checks out. So let me introduce you to the basic part of the ego. Let me ask you a question. Who are you when you're not your name, your job, or your past? Who are you? That's a tough one to answer, isn't it? In spirituality, the ego isn't just arrogance. It's the I thought, the mental construct of a separate self. The ego thrives on separation, me versus you, while spirituality points towards oneness or connection. And that's a core conflict with the ego. The ego can also be a necessary mask. It's a survival tool. The ego isn't evil. It's a survival mechanism that's been developed by humankind for thousands and thousands and thousands of years as a means of survival. And that helps us navigate the physical world, keep a schedule, and protect our bodies. The problem is the mask becomes a prison. When we forget, we are wearing it. We begin to believe we are the labels or bank account or failures or social status. And when we start believing that, then the ego is starting to take over. So a key concept of ego is that it's a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. How the ego resists spirituality. The fear of death. To the ego, spiritual growth feels like a threat, because it requires letting go of control. The spiritual ego. Sometimes the ego just changes clothes, feeling superior because of one's meditation practice, diet, knowledge, skills. We think ourselves better and we want to be better than other people. And all you need to do is connect to other people. Common traps of the ego. Attachment to being right. You know what? No one's right all the time. Constant comparison to others. Why do we have this almost manic concept of wanting to compare ourselves to others when all you need to do is focus on yourself? Be who you are. The rest is superficial. Living in the past or future. The ego cannot survive in the now. Now that's interesting. The past is the past. It's nothing you can do to change it. The future hasn't happened yet. You can plan for it, but trying to control where you're going oftentimes leads you to disaster. Transcending the ego, the shift in perspective. Observation over suppression. You don't kill the ego, you observe it. When you notice a jealous or angry thought, you realize I am the one watching the thought, not the thought itself. Now think about that. This is deep. I am the one watching the thought, not the thought itself. What do you think? The witness state. You know what? Try to practice presence every day. Live for today. Just live for today. You can't do anything about yesterday. Tomorrow is not here yet. All you can do is prepare for it. Live for today. Let go of the attachment. Let go of the comparison. Just let go. People use ego sometimes as a shield. And what happens is that when you wear that mask, your light cannot shine, nor can the light enter. And you're blocking yourself from living a life that could be wonderful. Humility and surrender. Shifting from my will be done to thy will be done. Or aligning with the flow of the universe. This is where true peace is found. I said that on earlier podcasts when I decided to say, let go and let God. When I put my ego aside completely and I decided to let him lead me to where I need to go, that's when my life changed for the better. So much better. Every aspect of my life, financially, love, spiritually, physically, everything changed for the better. And all I had to do was let go. Let go of not trying to control people. Let go of trying to control situations, because what will. And that's all there is to it. So take it from me. Let go and let God, and you will see a big change in your life. So, conclusion, moving beyond the ego doesn't mean losing your personality. It means gaining your freedom. You become more compassionate because you see yourself in others instead of comparing yourself to others. That's another deep one there. When you stop comparing and you make connections and you just see yourself in others, that's a wonderful thing. So spirituality isn't about becoming better. It's about unlearning the limitation that the ego placed on you. And that's what let go and let God also means. It means letting go of the ego, letting go of the comparison, letting go of the expectations. Just live your life in the present. It should be such an easy thing to do, but so many people have a hard time with that. So let's try one exercise this week. Try to spend one day, just one day, witnessing your ego without judging it. See if you can do that and see what you notice when you do that. And then go back to this podcast and look at what I said again. I bet you're going to look at it in a different way. Anyway, that's it for the ego. And as usual, I'm going to ask you, what have you done this week to shine your light? This podcast is me shining my light for all to receive. The messages I carefully answers on a daily basis. And I've had so many positive messages lately. I'm overwhelmed. Not because I'm overwhelmed, I can do it. I'm overwhelmed with love. You guys are responding. You're sharing your light. I love it. Thank you. And even if I reach only a few of you every week, you know what? I've done my job, because this is all I seek to do, is to share my light, help people learn how to do better, how to heal themselves. And it's much easier than you think. So I encourage you again this week to share your light with others, your loved ones, your neighbors, even complete strangers. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds. Sometimes it takes 2 minutes. Sometimes it's just a smile. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed and learned as always. And I wish you all love, light, and shadow. Until next week.